Of all of the words collectively known as the Bible, the words and works of Yeshua are the most critical and the most important to translate correctly. Because in the words of Moses, he alone is the prophet that we must shema. We must hear and obey, and we will be judged in order of our compliance with the words of that prophet. We will be measured against the words of that prophet. These are the most important words that must be understood correctly, and oftentimes they are the most mistranslated words in the entire scripture. The letters written by various apostles and disciples to congregations and individually is collectively known as the epistles. Some address questions that were sent from the congregations to the individual, and unfortunately, we do not have their original letter to help us determine the immediate context. Other letters address individual issues, much as our personal correspondence do today. There is much learning that can be derived from these letters, but we must understand that none of our interpretation of the contents of these letters can be construed to change or negate anything that the Almighty shouted down from Mount Sinai, or change anything of how Yeshua lived and instructed his disciples on how to conduct themselves. We see that Shaul constantly quotes the Torah. And unless we are familiar with the Torah and familiar with what he is quoting, we don't even have his words in context. Only when we can find the words of Shaul right back in the Torah, only then do we have his words in context and his commentary on not only the Torah, but also the prophets that he is doing on a regular basis throughout his letters to all of not only the congregations, but to the individuals to whom he addresses. Shalom, Torah fans. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Tap the subscription button and the bell icon, and I promise to update weekly with in-depth biblical research. Be sure to download the new michaelrood.tv app for both mobile and home devices for even more commercial-free content.